Hello and welcome to Last Week in AWS. I'm Corey Quinn. Let's see what AWS has for us this time. They announced the AWS Workload Credentials Provider, a name that only a committee could love, which automates the certificate renewal cron job that you've maintained with duct tape and EventBridge since 2019. It's open source and it's free, which means AWS will recoup costs through the Secrets Manager bill it cheerfully cashes against. Your ops team finally gets to sleep through cert expiry weekends. I mean, technically they always did, but it's rude to point it out. Announcing the public preview of AWS FinOps Agent, an AI that explains why your bill went up, built by the company that engineered the bill to be incomprehensible in the first place. Arsonist meet fire department. The agent fingers a responsible owner for each spike, which means Slack now has a tool for assigning blame at machine speed. This is progress. Legitimately, it's not terrible. Introducing AI-powered cost investigations for cost anomalies. AI to explain why your bill exploded because the previous 3 layers of cost tooling apparently weren't enough. The irony of paying for tokens to investigate why you're paying too much for tokens is not lost on me. Still, anything that spares a FinOps team from manually grepping CloudTrail at 2 a.m. earns a reluctant nod. CloudWatch Logs Insights adds 23 new commands and functions. That's functions and the one customers actually wanted, which is an if statement, finally arrives in 2026. Welcome to Conditional Logic, a feature your TI-83 shipped with. Querying logs still bills by the gigabyte scan, so enjoy your shiny new split function right up until the invoice arrives. Introducing Target Coverage and Savings Plan Purchase Analyzer. Type a percentage, get a commitment number. Revolutionary, assuming you previously did this math in a napkin during CFO reviews. Now, what's nice here is it does tell you to leave room before committing, because locking 100% of your spend into a 3-year prison sounds great until you do it. This is useful, which is suspicious. Introducing the AWS Credits Detail page, a dedicated dashboard for tracking the funny money AWS hands out to keep you locked in. The pause button is the winner here, though, because now you can hoard credits like canned goods before the apocalypse, except the credits expire, so it's more like hoarding bread. 24-hour balance refresh, because surely you'll remember to do this tomorrow. Anthropic Claude Fable 5 on AWS. Mythos class capabilities with built-in safeguards are now available. The obvious, well-reported catch on this Mythos class wonder is to use it, you must opt in to 30-day data retention and human review of everything that you send. Skip the safeguards and you get Mythos 5, reserved for vetted customers, which is corporate for people we trust not to embarrass us, which is absolutely not me. Console support, naturally, coming soon. So tell me you were caught flat-footed by the launch, but use different words. It's pretty clear that Anthropic wears the metaphorical pants in their AWS relationship. Now available, EC2, M9G, and M9GD instances powered by the new AWS Graviton 5 processors. The performance gains are real. The 9% price hike from the M8G generation goes unheralded. The agentic AI framing is the obligatory 2026 buzzword tax. AWS PR does its own company dirty again. I've already upgraded my dev instance, and Meta's tens of millions of cores means fewer of these will be available to companies who actually have something resembling a coherent business strategy. Try the new console experience in Amazon Bedrock, optimized for Anthropic and OpenAI compatible APIs. I thought my angry, aggressive Chihuahua Ethel died years ago, but she's apparently alive and well in Seattle because nobody else has the special combination of angry and incompetent required to pull this one off. The old console still exists and is presented as the primary, except that newer models, like, say, all the OpenAI ones, aren't available in the old console. So it looks to a casual customer like the new models just aren't there. I mean, I included a screenshot in the newsletter of this. It does not seem in any way intuitive to me that OpenAI's models are in Bedrock, but they're only in the Mantle console. Has anyone used this who doesn't already know how it works? Hello? McFly? AWS Nitro Isolation Engine, formally verifying the hypervisor in the AWS Nitro system. It's mathematical proof your neighbor can't read your memory, but it's available exclusively on Graviton 5 instances you'll need to migrate to first, again, at a 9% price increase. The proofs, or proofs, are real and no doubt impressive, but somewhere a finance team just learned that formally verified is a synonym for only the newest, priciest silicon will possibly do. It's safe to close your laptop now, hosting coding agents on Amazon Bedrock Agent Core. The hostage situation where your laptop hinge holds an overnight migration captive? Solved for the low price of running everything through Bedrock and a CloudWatch bill that grows like kudzu. Your agent gets its own micro VM, your CFO gets a new line item, and somewhere a work tree sobs soundlessly into localhost port 5432. Too bad it doesn't work for many workloads, because the whole point is that my agent requires a shit ton of context that's in my dev environment. Did an AI agent write this? Judging by the blog post phrasing, the answer is almost certainly a Claude variant, so yes. 27 security bulletins, a patch Tuesday that lasted a year. Holy shit, there were 27 distinct items for inclusion this week for security issues. 27 bulletins is not a roundup, it's an intervention. And the recurring theme is that AWS keeps shipping the same bug in every language that it knows. 5 database wrappers handed strangers the RDS superuser crown across JDBC, Go, Python, and Friends, then did it again 2 CVEs later for anyone who missed the first showing, while the 6-language S3 encryption flaw gave us invisible salamanders, which is the best crypto villain since Heartbleed. Cryptography had a rough week generally. A verify function that skips verifying is a bouncer that charges a cover, then just waves everyone in. And an audit plugin that ignores committed queries ran your compliance on the honor system, just like Delve. The security tooling itself kept becoming the attack vector, which is the one thing it's not supposed to do. A macOS VPN client symlinking its way to root, its Windows sibling hunting OpenSSL configs in a Linux path that exists only in someone's fever dream, a Workspace's Linux client leaving tokens for the next user, a component literally named Secret Agent stashing Kerberos creds in /temp, and a firecracker jailer that overwrites the host it's supposed to guard. The call may well be coming inside the VPC. Whether through an ECS introspection server letting neighbors introspect you, an MD5, an IMDS endpoint trusting whoever answers first, a RES portal previewing coworkers' desktops, or twin code build stumbles where a memory dump leaked the .NET SDK repo token, and a missing regex anchor handed wizadmin to that same repo. The AI products were predictably the worst because handing a robot your credentials and skipping the human review goes exactly how you'd expect. Q and Kiro plugins exfiltrating secrets via DNS. A QVS code extension saved only by a malicious commit syntax error. Kiro running whatever the hell's hidden in a folder name. And an Agent Core CLI executing triple-quoted Python on import. So Agent Core basically meant anyone's code, your runtime. Rounding out the misery pile sits an RCE and React server components that was patched with 3 nested regex transformations you're told to test gently, an overly permissive harmonics EKS trust policy trusting the account root, an ION-C bug that can't decide if it's integer overflow or stack read, an infinite loop DOS in a library AWS deprecated before disclosing it, a SageMaker SDK that disables SSL verification globally, 3 free RTOS overreads with workaround of none, living forever in unpatchable thermostats, a trio of run C container escapes AWS reminds you aren't a security boundary, and a cloud cam whose only fix is owning no camera. Jesus Christ, what's going on over there? And that's what happened last week in AWS. I'm Corey Quinn. I'm at the AWS Summit in New York this week. If you see me, please say hello. And as always, thank you for listening.